Hello. Okay, so today we're going to do a little bit of work with the foam roller. The theme of the class is balance and gait. And I think that, mobility really keeps us from being able to, um, for our bodies to respond in situations where our little muscles that help us to balance need to perk up and save the day. So just tightness and being a little bit less mobile affects our balance. So we're going to do some foot stuff and some foam roller stuff. I have this long foam roller and it's a little bit soft. It's not one of the harder ones. I prefer that personally. We're going to start just rolling a few things out to begin, just to loosen a few things up. So I'm going to turn mine to the side so you can kind of see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to turn around and have a seat on it. And we're going to be kind of moving around on the foam roller. For some of you, one of the hardest parts is figuring out what to do with your hands or managing extra weight in your wrists. I kept this little, what's it called here? Yoga block here. You can use things like this to help you, grab a yoga block, keep it close by, maybe even a larger weight, and you can like hold on to the weight. Okay, so it's kind of worth it, I think, to figure out how to make this happen logistically. If one of the things is just that you're too tight here or your wrists are a little angry with having to manage all of that force. So play around with what it is you're leaning into, okay? I'm going to start by bringing my right hand back, and I'm just going to kind of rest my left hand on my thigh, and I'm going to roll out my right hip first. I often like to do this in the morning and in the evening. Do I do it every day? Absolutely not. I probably do it at least a couple of days a week. Like often I'll do it in the morning and then I'll kind of forget at night, or I'll do it at night and forget to do it in the morning. Some weeks I'll do it like 4 or 5 times a week. I really think it makes a difference personally. I am moving my knees around to roll out my hip. So when I move them that way, I get the side of my hip and a different part of my glutes, and then I kind of shift again. So you really can, choose your own little adventure here just by moving your body around. Feel free to do whatever you want to do with your arms, ultimately. Both arms back. Okay, so just keep moving around until you find a position that feels right. And I'm just going to do one more on this right hip. And then I'm going to come over to the left. Over to the left. Along the way, it's a great idea to take some nice deep breaths. And also just a quick note, when you do rolling out like this, I would love for you to follow it up with some liquids, some water, some, warm tea, things like that. Just we're flushing out things from the muscles and the fascia. So it's nice to flush it out even more with just staying hydrated. I'll do a couple more with this left hip. And tush. It's definitely a tush and a hip situation here. And then I'm going to come off behind and then just kind of push this guy forward. So it's going to be underneath my calves. And there's a few ways to do this. I'll take you through that. It's just a little bit of a calf roll out. Some of you have lots of strength and you're comfortable in your wrists. You can literally just roll yourself back and forth. It's a bit of a workout to manage it. The other way that I often end up doing it is one leg at a time. So I scooch over to the side. I'm going to put my left foot on the floor. And this is a little bit more manageable, one leg at a time. Just a quick note about this. Do a few with your foot flexed, and then do a few with your foot released. For me, releasing the foot is just releasing that whole area, and I actually feel like I'm able to roll it out. So see if you feel the same thing. P.S. Turn your toes to the right, turn your toes to the left. You'll get more of like a holistic rollout of all the muscles and the fascia in and around the calf. And I'm just going to do this one more time, around in a little bit of a circle. And then, of course, we'll do the other side. Great to notice if one side feels really different from the other. One of my calves is a whole different party to roll out than the other one. I'm going to do a few more here on this side. Continue to move that foot around so you really do get that whole area rolled out. And then tush comes down. Now I'm going to keep this foam roller where it is, but I am going to flip over. And I'm going to bring it underneath my thighs to roll out the quads. So I put it just kind of close to the knees, and then I lean forward, bringing the forearms forward. I like to split this journey up into two parts, doing the top part of the thighs and then the bottom part. So we'll start with the top, rolling towards the pelvis and then towards mid thigh. Using your arms to kind of generate the power to be able to get yourself to go forward and back. Try to keep the neck nice and long. Draw the abdominals in while you move back and forth here. Another place where you can experiment with just relaxing your feet a little bit instead of keeping them all tensed up. And we'll do a few more with the top half. And then I'm going to scooch myself forward and I'm going to roll down to just above the knee. I'm not going on to the kneecap, okay? And then we're going to do the whole thing, rolling towards the pelvis completely and pulling yourself forward to get just above the knee. We'll do this 5 more times. Breathe. And 4. And 3. 2 more. And then 1 more time. Woo! And then bring yourself back. Okay? Sit back. And I'm just going to roll out with my hands, kind of slowly moving their way out on the foam roller for a big stretch through the spine. Head down. You can kind of slowly bring the foam roller back in with you, up to sit. And we'll do this probably 3 or 4 more times. Just go at your own pace. And come all the way back up. Two more. Exhale. Try exhale forward. Inhale up. Last one. Inhale up. Good. And then from here, I'm going to keep my foam roller there and turn myself around again. This time I'm going to lean back on it. So it'll be about mid-back towards the shoulder blades. Yes. And then hands are going to come back to support the head. Scooch the feet in. Lift your tush up. Small little roll forward and back. I am rolling out like the top third of my upper back. I'm not rolling directly onto my cervical spine. I prefer to follow a rule that I read a while back where you should not roll out your cervical spine or your lumbar spine. It's safer to stick from, the shoulder blade area down to the bottom rib area. I could be wrong about that, so please do your own research, but that's what feels like a good choice for me at this moment. And then you can, of course, bring yourself further forward and back as long as that feels good. So I'm not only doing the shoulder blade area now, I'm going all the way down to the ribs and back in again. And I'm just going to do this a few more times. And as you can feel, this is an exercise. It's not just a stretch, or there's lots of work going on in my legs. I've got to use my abdominals to keep my head up, lots of other things going on. And then I'm going to come back, put the tush down. I'm totally rolling off the rug, so I'm going to scooch back to the center, and I'm going to lean back again. Hands behind the head, knees bent, feet nice and flat. And I'm going to go back, which feels lovely. And exhale to come forward. And breathe. Try not to hold your breath. Feel free to move yourself on the foam roller forward or back. Each time you go back and the foam roller is on a different place of the spine, it kind of gives it a little bit of a massage, I guess. Yeah, I just keep scooching forward and back just because I think it feels great. I'm just going to do 2 more here, coming back to the middle of the spine. And 1 more. Okay, from here, I'm going to bring my hands around and my legs all the way up. And I'm going to come forward and just hold here for a moment, turning on the abdominals, balancing on the tush, elbows wide, shoulders relaxed. Take a breath. And then bring the feet all the way down. Let's do feet together, knees wide. The soles of my feet are together. And I'm just going to give myself a forward stretch here, moving the head and the shoulders gently from side to side. Lengthening out and stretching the muscles in the inner thighs and around the hips. I'm just going to do 4 more like this. And 3. And 2. And 1. And back to center. Come on up to sit. Just for a moment, I'm going to put the foam roller to the side. We are going to definitely go back there, but come on up to sit, and we'll sit with our legs in this kind of Z position. So my left foot is on my right thigh, and my right foot is off to the side here. This is another thing where we're going to have to use the hands and the wrists, so try and find a comfortable position. Reach back, put your weight in your hands a bit as you bring your knees over to the other side. Okay, so ideally the feet stay where they are, but the knees just completely travel from side to side. And I think pretty quickly, some of you will have all sorts of feelings here. Some of those feelings are in the knees, some of them are in the hips. Really, there's a bunch of things that people say that they feel when they move through this. It's a great movement for mobility of the knees and the hips. And the end of the day, mobility in those 2 joints makes us better walkers. So this is one of the reasons why this is relevant today when we work on gait, walking through the feet. And P.S., what I'm doing here is I'm kind of slowly just picking up the pace a little bit, which you don't have to do it at all. Please just go at whatever pace you want. I'm just using my hands a little bit less. And as I come over from side to side, I'm focusing on how does that feel? This stretch. I have a stretch over my left hip when I come over here. When I come over to the other side, I feel a big stretch through my right hip. Okay, so the next step would be to not use your hands at all. But but you can just take a minute on each side. Let's just do a couple more here. And then we'll come back to the center, and I'm gonna grab this foam roller again. Okay, so now we're gonna be lying on the foam roller. We did all this good stuff to warm up the joints through the legs, the spine, the knees. We'll come down onto the foam roller. So try and get yourself aligned so the tail is at one side, head is at the other, and you are just kind of balancing on the length of the foam roller. Walk your feet out so they're maybe a little bit wider than your hips. And then we're gonna start by bringing our arms up towards the ceiling, activating through the shoulders, letting the palms facing one another, spread the fingers open. And we'll go out east and west with the arms towards the floor. Backs of the hands will maybe come to the floor, or maybe they'll come close. And then return again. So we'll add a breath. Inhale, arms wide. Exhale as you come up, and I would really love for you to turn your attention to your midsection and your deeper breath. It's really easy to leave that deep connection into the abdominals out of this. So try and engage through your midsection, pulling the hips in towards one another, but still taking that really big expanding breath. Arms come out, inhale. Exhale, come on back up. Let's do 3 more here. And last one. And now the arms will move again, but this time in different directions. I'm gonna face my palms forward. Find that long neck feeling again, and start to bring the arms back, and then all the way down by my sides. As you bring your arms back, draw the abdominals in. So I rarely say, like, jam your back into the floor, but this is one of those moments I don't really want you to jam your back down, but drawing your belly and your back down just keeps everything engaged. I'm gonna do 4 more here, especially as you reach back. And return. 3. And then 2. And 1 more time. This one's going to turn into a circle. Reach back. Come all the way around. Let's go 2 more in this direction, and we'll do 3 in the other direction. And 1 more. And other way, neck is nice and long. 2. And last one. Yes, and then I'm going to bring my arms up towards the ceiling. And we're going to let the feet move around a little bit. And this is where some of those little balance challenges are going to begin. I'm walking my feet in a little bit. So my feet are now about as wide probably as my sits bones or the bones in my pelvis. And I'm going to practice lifting 1 foot at a time and putting it right back down again. Kind of forces you to wiggle wobble through your standing foot, right? Maybe you just have to scoot around and move that foot a little bit. P.S. I'm just alternating here, just in case I didn't say that. And I'm slowly trying to lift the leg up a little higher each time. I'm going to do 3 lifts with the right leg. 1, 2, 3. Got that one. And now 3 with the left. 1, 2, this one's harder. 3, kind of. And now I want to let one arm and the opposite leg move together. So I'm going to put my right arm down and keep my left arm up. And I'm going to bring my right leg up into tabletop. My left arm will go back as my right leg reaches away. And return. Away. And return. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we got to switch sides. So left arm down, right arm up, left leg up, and reach. And reach. And 4, 3, 2, last one. And then come all the way down. Okay, I'm going to keep all that stuff down for just a minute. Come back to the arms, arms to the ceiling. And I'm going to bend my elbows out to the sides. And I'm going to start to move the bottom half of the arm down towards the floor into that cactus and goalpost position we all love. And then I'm going to come back up, but then I'm going to go the other way as well, towards the floor on the opposite direction from my head. Back and forth. Belly button is in here as well. And last 3 here. 3, and 3, and 2, and 2. One more each way. Interesting how that feels in the shoulders for me. And then come back up to where you started. And let's just bring the arms actually back down. Put them down, maybe straight arms by your sides with the palms down. And we'll come back to the legs. So I'm going to bring my left leg up to tabletop. Nice and easy and light with how much I'm working through the arms, because I'd love to just get the foot and my core to do a bit more work. The right knee is facing the ceiling. I'm going to draw a little circle on the ceiling with my right knee for 5, and 4, and 3, 2, and 1, and we'll go the other way. And 5, 4. Yeah, if you want to kind of try to even float your fingertips off the floor. Last one here. And then back to center, all the way down, opposite side. Left knee looks at the ceiling. Little circle on the ceiling. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we got to go the other way. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back and all the way down. Put your palms back down. Both legs are going to come up, knees and feet together. And then the legs will open apart from one another and come up and return. Let's do inhale wide. Exhale back. Last 4 here. 3, 2, last 1. And come all the way down. Quick stretch here. I'm going to bring the soles of the feet in towards one another and the knees out wide. Ooh, this is a deep stretch. One more breath here. And bring it back up. Okay, I'm gonna roll to the side and push the foam roller away and just enjoy a moment of this like super weird feeling. And it feels good at the same time. Just take a nice deep breath. Let your spine just kind of sort of release itself down towards the mat. And I'm going to take my foam roller and slide it right behind my heels in front of my tush on the mat. And then I'm going to take my feet and walk it forward a little bit. This is the part where we're going to work the legs and the feet a little bit. I like to say here, where your feet are makes a big difference on how this feels through the legs. Okay, so there really is kind of a sweet spot. In one of the places, it could feel like really intense for your hamstrings and not in a good way. So continue to move your feet around closer to you, further away, wider apart until you find a place that feels good, okay? I'm gonna pull the foam roller in so it's underneath my arches, but also so I can push my heels into the foam roller. And I'm gonna pull in and down as I lift my hips up. And then lower down, okay? And again, pulling in towards me and pushing down as I lift up. And lower back down. We're gonna do 6 more here. I really like exhale to come up. And 5. And 4. And 3. Last 2. And one more time. Lower all the way down. Take a nice deep breath here. I'm going to take my feet and use my feet to push the foam roller over to the side. Same exercise, except one of my feet will have the foam roller and one of my feet will be on the ground. I probably should do the other side so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to push it over to the right. My right foot will be on the foam roller and my left foot is on the ground. I'm going to do the best I can to even out where it feels like where my feet are, so they're somewhat even with one another, okay? Similar movements, like really kind of awkward, but you know, we'll see how it feels. Push down through your arms, push through both feet, and then come right back down. So it's lots of work through the right leg. I'm gonna pull my heel in and push down through my heel as I lift. Tons of hamstring work here. We're just gonna do 4 more. 4, and back down. And 3, and back down. 2, and back down. Last one. And back down. That is it. I'm gonna pull it over to the other side. Can I do this? Yeah, kind of. That worked out. Other side. So again, try to get your feet so it feels like they're almost in alignment with one another. Of course, one is higher than the other. Push down through your arms as well and lift. Yeah, is one side easier than the other? Just out of curiosity. 2, 3, 4, 5, and one more. And 6. And come all the way down, okay? Pull the foam roller back where we started just a moment ago. Hopefully this isn't. So it's just in between the heels and the tush, okay? And then come back with both heels on the foam roller one more time. Arms are gonna stay down. Press the foam roller away from you, roll out onto it, and when you get out there, flex your feet, and then come back in and try and come all the way back to rolling to the balls of the feet or the toes. 5 more like this. Reach out, flex, come all the way in. Reach out, flex, come all the way in. Again. One more. Good. Go all the way back out. Let's say foam roller under the calves. Flex and point. Roll through the feet here. Flex, reach the toes back. Reach through the heels forward. And point. 3 more. Flex, spread your toes apart from one another. And point. 1 more time. Flex and point. Now come back a little bit, not a full flex, but lift your toes. Bring your toes in towards one another and then out away from one another. P.S. As you move your feet in and then apart from one another, try not to make it completely about the whole leg. Like, I don't want my knees to move around too much right here. I want the feet to move in the ankle, like isolate the movement of the feet more than the movement of the legs. 3 more like this. And 2 more. And then 1 more time. And then back and just relax through the feet for a second. Take a breath. And exhale. Okay, so I'm going to roll over to the side here. I'm coming off that foam roller and coming up to sit. Let's go to the hands and knees for a moment before we come up to stand. I'm just going to pull the foam roller in between my hands and my knees. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Let's round through the spine. And then arch. And round. And arch. 1 more each way. Round. And arch. Come back to center. Curl your toes forward. Sit back and just keep your spine nice and long here. This is a stretch for the feet. Sit back, sort of pushing back into the stretch. Bring your heels in towards one another and then let them come away from one another. Bring your heels in towards one another and let them come away. 1 more, each way. In and let them come away. Come back in towards one another, and we're going to bring ourselves up to be on our feet. So I'm rolling back. Hold here for a minute. This is slowly becoming a stretch through the calves for me. The more you sort of lean back without falling back, you may feel this as well. Shift your weight into your right foot and then over to the left. 1 more each way here. It's a subtle shift. I still, of course, have my weight in both feet. And then I'm going to come back to the center and I'm going to try to put my feet almost down. Maybe some of you can get your heels down. Mine are not getting there. And then I'm going to slowly make my way up to stand. All the way up. Ooh, a little dizzy. Okay, I'm going to push this foam roller forward towards the wall. I hope you have just a little bit of wall space. Or even like a counter or something that you can lean up into. I'm going to bring my foam roller right against the wall. We just did this stretch, but we're going to do it 1 more time. Let's put the left foot on the foam roller. This is going to be a much deeper stretch. Left foot on the foam roller, and I'm standing tall into my right leg. You can decide how you want to do this, but recently I have been leaning forward towards the wall, just lifting my right heel, and then trying to lift my chest and come towards the wall, and then back down. So we're kind of doing a little bit of work with both of the feet here, pushing forward through the back foot, pushing ourselves forward, lifting the heel, and then lowering it back down. Lifting and lowering it back down. Let's switch the feet here. Let's switch the feet for a moment. Okay. Try to get your both feet directed forward. So when you lift, you're pushing through the back foot. Also, the other thing I'm sort of gently guiding myself towards is squaring off my shoulders and my hips with the wall in front of me. Down and back up. Stand tall here. Down and back up. 2 more. 1 more time. And then come on back. You can keep the foam roller where it is or get it out of the way if at some point you need to. Step your left foot forward and your right foot back. I'm fairly close to the wall here. My feet are hip distant. I'm just going to use the fingertips against the wall here. And I'm going to keep my front knee soft as I shift my weight into it, but I'm pushing myself forward with my back heel, and then I'm lowering back down. Shifting my weight into my front foot, but then I'm lowering back down. Shifting forward and lower back down. And I'm going to switch. Right foot forward, left foot back. My feet are hip distant. Still kind of squaring off the hips. Shifting into this front foot and then reaching the heel back down. Shifting forward, putting almost all my weight into this front foot and lowering it back down. 2 more. And back down, and then 1 more time. And lowering it back down. Okay, I'm going to come away from the wall. Feel free to use whatever you need to use in terms of getting yourself to feel safe, a chair, the wall, whatever. I'm coming back to left foot forward, right foot back. Hip distant feet. And maybe hands to hips. I may change that. Shift forward, bringing your weight into your front foot. And then go all the way back down. We're going to add to this time. Shift forward, push down through the left leg, bring the right knee up, and then go back where you just were. Push through the left leg, bring the right leg up. I would love for you to go through the back foot to return. Push yourself forward through the back foot. Stand tall into your standing foot. When you bring your back leg back to the ground, roll through the back foot to a calf stretch. Arms wide is nice here, of course, as well. Let's just do 3 more. And up, back to the stretch. 2 more. Forward and up. Back to the stretch. 1 more. Forward and up. Back to the stretch. Let's switch the feet. Right foot forward, left foot back. Belly button is in. Square off the hips the best you can. Roll through the back foot to transfer your weight into the front foot. Knee up. And reach back. Roll through. Forward, up, back, roll through. Energy through the spine. Forward, back. Don't rush through the work through the back foot. Use it as you roll forward and then land into the back foot and go all the way back to the stretch. Last one. Roll through, back to there. Bring your arms back to your hips or wherever you would like. Switch your feet again. Feet are still hip distant, squared off hips. Shift your weight into your front foot so the back toes are just light. Down on the mat, but light. Energize your spine, draw your abdominals in. Your back leg is going to go in and out, like a little half circle. In and out. Coming over to the left, going out to the right. Can you keep your pelvis relatively still? In, out. In, out. Two more. In, out. One more. In, out. Step your right foot next to your left. Come up to stand. Just stand tall. Take a breath. And then let's bring the opposite foot back. Left leg back. Toes are light. Energize the spine. Pull the abdominals in. In. Out. In. Out. 5. And 4. And 3. And 2. Last one here. In and out, step in. Come all the way up. Hold there. Hold there. Relax your shoulders. Toes out. Heels out. Toes out. Heels out. Toes out. Come back in. 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 We'll go out again. Out. 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 And again. In. 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 One more set. Out. 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 And in. 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 And in. Hold there. We're going to find parallel feet. I feel like doing something else with my hands here. Maybe I'll come here. Stand into your right leg or one of your legs. Opposite leg. Circle around. Circle around. So you have to use that standing leg in a dynamic way. If you are holding on to something for a little bit of support, just make sure it's not like a death grip. So you can really let that foot move around. Your ankle, your feet, they're designed to do lots of dynamic things. Let's go the other way with this leg. Around. It's okay if you're wobbly, by the way. There's so many factors. Okay, help yourself. Challenge yourself and help yourself. Let's go to the other side here. Standing tall. Maybe arms wide for this. Around. 2, 3, 4, and we got to go the other way. 5, 4, 3, 2. Ooh, caught it. One more. And then come all the way down. Okay, let's arms come all the way up. Hook your thumbs when you reach up there. Reach up and side stretch. Side stretch. One more each way. Come back to the center and come all the way down. Okay, we're gonna grab that foam roller one more time. One more time. And we're coming back down onto it, this time to the side of the leg. Quick little IT rollout. I often like to do that part after everything is nice and warm, okay? And yeah, the hardest part about rolling this IT thing is, number one, it's really uncomfortable. Number two, it's a lot into the hands, and it's kind of awkward for the opposite leg. But I'm bringing my top leg forward with my foot on the mat, and then I'm gonna do it like I did with the quads, do the top half first. I am on the side of my leg. As I roll out the side of my leg, the IT band, I am breathing. I'm coming up to where the leg inserts into the hip and then rolling it out. 5 more here. 5 and 4 and 3 and 2, and then we have to go further down. And I'm just going to do the whole side now in one full swoop, but now I'm including the bottom half. I am not rolling onto the knee, okay? Do not roll onto the knee. 5 more here. 5 and 4 and 3 last one, and I'm rolling off, taking a quick breath here. The other side. Side 2. Let's see how this side goes. So I'm leaning over onto my side. Yeah, you can do this from the forearm as well. That's okay too. You don't have to be up through straight arms like I just was a second ago. Rolling out for me gives me an opportunity to notice how one side feels different from the other. Like my right quad is tighter than my left quad, but my left IT is tighter than my right. So that's kind of funny. I'm going to go all the way down now. Last one here. My goodness. Rolling off. And I'm going to do one more stretch at the end here, just because I think it feels particularly nice. If there's something that you would like to do besides this, please do it. I'm going to come mid-back with my foam roller. And then, yeah. This is pretty intense. You may prefer a pillow. Just adjusting myself a little bit here. A pillow or a squishy ball. One more deep breath here. And then to get yourself out of this, I usually like to use my hands just to assist. And then come on up. Ooh. I'm going to come up through a down dog. if you'd like to join me. Hands under shoulders. Heavy through the head. One more deep breath here, and then we're going to walk our hands back towards our feet. Half hang. Relax through the upper body. And then push through the feet to roll it up. My belly just made a lot of noises. Did you guys hear that? Stand nice and tall. Inhale, exhale. We did it. Foam rolling is great. Sometimes we just need to be reminded to do it a little bit more. Have a great day.